Welcome back to Strange Antiquities. We are starting day 10, which apparently is a Saturday. It has been a while IRL since I played, so I'm not sure what the most recent thing I was doing. But I know that we always start off with our new card. Below a moon that does not shine, there is no mark upon my shrine. In the dark, but not alone, my neighbor bears a cross of stone. Okay, now I remember. So we had just recently been given the catacombs map. So we're going to have to suss out this riddle. Below a moon that does not shine. Now, there are a couple of moons. Is there a new moon anywhere? Because a new moon doesn't shine. I see a couple of crescent moons. And I see a half moon. Waxing, oh, I don't know if it's waxing or waning. I see another crescent. And then there's one on its side. No new moons. There is no mark upon my shrine. In the dark, but not alone. My neighbor bears a cross of stone. Okay, so we're also looking for a moon that is next to a cross. So like this one, for example, I don't know if we would call this a neighbor because they're not directly next to each other. And there is a mark on this one. Oops. It at least gives a date. So I don't know if we're looking for something that has no mark. This one has no mark and there is a cross. So this is a possibility. This one has a moon, but it's not next to a cross. Here we have a moon, a cross, and a sun. And this one has a number. So I'm inclined to think it's this one. Let's go ahead and see if we are correct. So let's go to Explore. Click on the catacombs. And I'm going to guess this one. As I descend further into the catacombs, a strange sensation comes over me. It is not fear, although fear is mixed in with it. With cold clarity, I know at once what it is. I have entered an area known as the depths, a place where few have been and fewer have returned from. Not even Paliants can clear the air here and render it safe to breathe, but there is a way. Slight miners inhale the vapors produced by a spirit called a wandering shroud. They say it invigorates their senses and stays the mind, not that rot that would otherwise consume them. It could be dangerous to continue exploring down here without the following their lead. Okay, let's look for, there we go, a wandering shroud, which is of course not in here, but let's check the back. All right, we have a shield charm and a spirit vault. Okay, I don't think it's the spirit vault. Oh wait, I could have also done this. It'll probably, well, it's probably not going to, well, wait, where is it now? Well, shield charm was the other one, right? Yeah, wandering shroud. Protections have little to offer. Skilled thaumaturs. Such charms are made of the art of symbology, and ancient and some say primitive component. Okay, I think it's this one, and we should have marked it. So let's go ahead and look for the shield charm. Here it is. Uh-oh, okay. Not even Paliants can clear the air. The vapors oh, okay, wait. I was not paying enough attention. So we do want the spirit vault. And we have not found this before. Okay. A spirit vault, also known as a footage chamber, is a receptacle used to store a wandering shroud. The interior is lined with a paste made of from sulfur, so it's probably stinky. On occasion, they do not take kindly to being restrained. A faint vibration of the receptacle can be felt when a shroud is held within. But that doesn't necessarily mean that ours has one. Okay, so what does not have... Okay, this has no comment. This is weathered. Nothing to remark. When they say like receptacle, I always think that sense of being watched, that it needs to be able to actually hold something, like a container. This is warm. Oh, it could be this maybe, or one of these, because these are all containers. Cold and smooth. It has a smell like a rotten egg. I'm not even going to look at the other ones. I think this is it because rotten eggs smell sulfurous. I try to breathe in the vapors from the wandering shroud, but to my horror, I realize the spirit vault is empty. My vision starts to blur as the cloying air of the depths fills my lungs, and I stagger away in a daze. When at last I reach the surface, I take deep breaths of the fresh air, but my lungs ache for some time after. I need to be more careful. I've written to Barton Potter. He will know where to find a wandering shroud. Okay. So this was the spirit vault. So I'm guessing that's not resolved then. Okay, we need to wait to receive some post. Is there anything else? We have this thing, the stuff about the diurnic seals, thaumaturgic fields, and we still only have 3 of these, but we need 1 more. We have not yet opened that locked vault. Okay. I have traveled a long way searching for an eye of the forest. I have read stories of the Dreyer of old who would hunt in partnership with an eagle, seeing what they see, soaring on the wind. I intend to rekindle this lost custom. Perhaps you know something about it. The Eye of Cernunnos, and I have marked that I've already found this. Or, no, not necessarily, right? I've done other things with Cernunnos. Yeah, so I have not marked it. Known as the Eyes of the Forest, these ancient artifacts enable one to enter the minds of lesser creatures. It is alleged that Cernunnos himself wielded an eye. Eyes of Cernunnos are hard to come by. They are powerful and should not be used carelessly. So I speculate, okay, so these are confirmed. This, I think I was speculating, was the Eye of Cernunnos. Pleasant, the scent that reminds of the forest. It's rough, hard, and cool. Yeah, let's try it. Yes! Past me was correct. Sketch of certain, yeah, okay, so there's like that repeated shape in all of them. Oh, and jade hints of a connection to the natural world. Very cool. Alright, let's go ahead and change this because now we've confirmed it. Oh, post. I was expecting to talk with Rona Green this morning, but she wasn't at home. Unusual for her. I hope she's okay. Okay, who wrote back? Someone different. If you can spare the time, we'd appreciate your help. There's something unusual in our house. You can't miss us. We're the only detached house on Ruskin. Warmest regards, Mrs. R. Bream. Alright. So we want to look for Ruskin, and she said it's the only detached house, which I think is this, because these are all connected to each other. I'm greeted by a tired-looking middle-aged woman who immediately offers me tea. I gratefully accept, enjoying the social ritual before we meander towards the point of my visit. She leads me up the stairs and into the attic. A single small window does little to dispel the gloom, but our eyes slowly adjust. Then we hear the voices. At first I think it's the house creaking in the wind, soft murmuring groans that seem to come from the walls themselves. But then I start to feel as though a conversation is happening, too quiet to make any sense of. Okay, does the hearing charm amplify sound? Yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and try our little bat friend. With the hearing charm, I suddenly find myself able to pick up every small sound without difficulty. The whisper voices become clearer, and my heart beats faster as I hear what they are saying. They're discussing a section of the wall where some of the bricks are loose. Carefully, I pull them away to reveal a small cavity. Inside, to my horror, is a human skull. At the insistence of the voices, I reach inside the cavity and my hand closes around an unusual-looking item. Immediately the voices fall silent, and my heightened senses are left with the whooshing drumbeat of the blood being pumped around my body. Looks unassuming. My father's sword has a space in the hilt where a shimmer would go, but he sold it to buy whiskey a long time ago. For whatever reason, he never did sell the sword itself. I wanted to restore it to its former glory. Shimmer? These belong to a series of objects that were designed to slot into armor or weaponry. They induce calm rage in the face of the unimaginable horrors of battle, allowing the bearer to stay one step ahead. The Knight of Thorns famously wore a shimmer on his chest plate, but it didn't save him from being slain in the Battle of Southerfell of 1356. Okay, so they said it's worn on the chest plate. So this, something in here is going to be the shimmer. He said it slots into the armor. Because this is lower, so I don't think it's that. Okay. Let's see. Warm and also cool. Sometimes I get into this mental trap where I get stuck on the language because they said it gets slotted in. So I think about it as something that can just be placed there. Knight of Thorns famously wore a shimmer on his breastplate. But then when I'm looking what looks slotted in as opposed to just being part of this, and I become less certain. This is our curse book. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about that. Do we have anything else about the Knight of Thorns, maybe? No, it just links back to the shimmer. We have those, like, swirly, leafy patterns, but I don't know if I see anything like that. I mean, this kind of has leafy patterns. And it has a gem. I'm not sure which. A stone of water, maybe. Anchor between body and mind. I think it looks brighter than that blue, though. It's either kyanite or aquamarine. It looks more like aquamarine for sure. So we have intricate detailing. This is supposed to go on a sword. So that's also something I should keep in mind, right? Because that could be different. Hard and cool, warm, gold and stone. Space in the hilt where a shimmer would go. Nothing is standing out to me immediately. I think I'm gonna take a hint. I'm looking for something that looks like it could fit in the slot in the sketch. What do they mean by slot? And also, this isn't a sketch of the sword. This is a sketch of the armor. I'm guessing it would be here, which has this, like, triad. So it could be one, like it could be this, or, I mean, that looks the most likely. Let me check those gemstones. Okay, we've got yellow, green, and black. And it's the darker green. A stone of sight, stone of fire and fury, and a stone of strength. I think those would make sense. Okay. Yay. fit in the slots in the sketch. Topaz and obsidian hint at calm rage, whereas the malachite suggests foresight or staying one step ahead. I work at the steel mill in Keswick, and I don't think there's one of us hasn't suffered a nasty burn. Do you have anything that could protect against that sort of thing? Let's find out. Looking for like fire maybe? Made from basilisk scales, a material known to endure intense heat, these unusual objects can permit the bearer to withstand fire and flame and remain unharmed. They do not, however, offer protection against the deadly basilisk. Okay. So it's probably something cool, right? So I wonder if it's this. This is hard and cool, and I think the aquamarine was related to water. So that's a contender. Are there any symbols for fire? Because I know this is protection. Fire is just an upright triangle. This has a triangle. But there's nothing, no comment about this like being cool to the touch or anything like that. Did this say that it has like, it's okay, it's made from basilisk scales. This isn't. So even though it's cool to the touch, it doesn't seem to have anything to do with a basilisk. So let's keep looking. This said it was like frail, if I recall correctly. Hollow when tapped, thin and delicate. Yeah, so I don't think that's it. What about this? This is leathery. Are basilisks leathery? See, I know they showed us what the scales look like. But I don't know that we have anything. Okay, what are these gemstones? Black volcanic glass, fire and fury. And then there's like a really bright orange, which I'm guessing is amber. Fire and light, heat and light. I'm gonna guess this. Nothing else really looks like it would fit. Okay. Cyrene ward. My wife will be relieved. I found this down the side of the counter here just now while I was waiting. Don't know if it's anything important or not. Yes! Okay. We can play around with this now. It's not the imbuement, it's something else. These. Okay. So we have antimony, arsenic, phosphorus, and bismuth. I have no idea if there's a pattern or something. Oh, maybe there is, because it looks like these are mirrored. So we have bismuth, and then zinc, and then phosphorus, and then that one, and that one. Okay, so this one is arsenic. And then these are mirrored on the bottom over here. So we have those three, and then this one is bismuth. And then it's this Z thingy, and then we have phosphorus. And then on the bottom, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Okay, that does go there. Ooh, what is this? Okay, it looks like we can change the symbol here, but I wonder what we want to change it to. I don't know that we have a hint about that. Okay, we can archive this. This, we're waiting for a spirit. Okay. So we start off here. And I know these are the symbols at the front of the book. Diurnal field patterns. Swords, although invisible to the naked eye, they can by placing an object over a thalamic lens. These fields are not fully understood despite attempts to study them over the years. So right now, it doesn't look like any of them. But for example, what does this move? Okay, let's keep it here. Ah. So this one, number 2, this looks like Dradic. That's the earth pattern. Okay, let's see if we move this down. And then, I wish it was easier to move the book places. Move this up. This is what a celestial pattern looks like, or Selenic. And that one's number 3. So we have Dradic and Selenic. Ugh, I wish there was a more ideal place to put that. Okay. Let's move this to the middle. And we're gonna change this to the box, and we're gonna move this to the top. So this is diurnic, which is this one. Yeah, which is depicted on this page. So that makes sense. Next we have Noctic, which looks like this. Oh, one more. Okay, so this is the Noctic one, which looks like number 1. And then we have the individual. So let's change this. This goes up. So that's Mentic. And if we lower this and raise this, that is Wixic. Okay, so this was Noctic, Diurnic, Dradic, and Selenic. I don't know what to do with them now that we have that. Oh, that's strange. So what happens if I change this to be Dradic? So if I move this there, change it to that, slide this down, it also just keeps shimmering. So I'm not sure if that's what I'm supposed to do. Let me see. Well, I know these things are Selenic, so let's take one of these. And I'm going to change this. Well, it doesn't like shimmer all over the place. It just looks like that's where it wants to be. So maybe that just confirms that that's the type of object it is. I don't know. Okay. Well, I know how this thing works. That's the important part. I'm sure I'll figure out later what I'm actually supposed to do with it. Judgment is coming. We worship the warrior not out of love, but because he is powerful. Because he demands our fear. What use is a god that you are not afraid of? Those of us who have read Holgar's teachings have known about the prophecy for a long time, and now the casket will finally be opened. It contains his final lesson for those who will not kneel. It contains his retribution against the sinful. It contains his divine rage. My preparations are underway to celebrate his wrath and prove our devotion. For now, a veiled fen is all I require. Should I be helping her? Okay. Oh, no, this is the wrong book. This is the one that I want. Okay, a veiled fen is brightly colored in the light, but it clouds over after a short period in total darkness. They can be used to command attention from individuals or small groups of people. Public speakers sometimes use them as a substitute for charisma. Brightly colored in the light. How do I expose something to the dark? Maybe using this? Okay, let's move these out of the way. I'm trying to think what looks bright. Let's just get a couple. Oh, this is bright. Actually, let me just try that. Okay. I mean, it still just looks extremely bright, right? I can't tell if that... I'm just gonna guess this one because I don't know what else. Nope. Okay. Bad idea. Don't just guess things. Okay, let's put a couple things here. Maybe this. Conceal it for a second. No discernible change. No discernible change. I'm not really noticing any changes, so I'm not sure if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Brightly colored in the light. Clouds over after a short period and total darkness. Trying a new strategy of exposing things to the light. Oops. I mean, I don't know why a stone would. Or wood. Okay. Veiled fun. Brightly colored. I should start there. Yeah, I mean, nothing really looks super bright to me. Let me just double check. Nothing's locked in here. Nothing that looks like what I'm looking for. Because this is the brightest. This was just wrong. Because I tried that already. Okay. I wonder what would happen if I shut any of these brightly colored items in a drawer or cupboard. Okay, like I did have the correct idea, but again, I was not noticing anything. Oh, there we go. Maybe I didn't leave it long enough earlier. I still feel weird about helping her. Was it like this? Yes. All right, we're at the end of the day. The two men fought as the heavens opened and lightning flashed across the night. One man wrested the casket from the other's grasp and leaped astride his horse, galloping off into the cold, wet darkness. Okay, is this the catacombs or the manor? I wonder. The position of these are kind of weird for it to be here. What about here? I don't think it's either of these maps. I think we might be looking at our regular exploration. So we're trying to triangulate these three shapes. This might take me a bit. So this is going to require some editing from future me. Okay, this kind of looks like twinnings. We've got this steps, the beginnings of this one and this. So that could be here. This could be this spot right here. And I wish I could twist this. What would this be if I'm tilting it? I mean, either way, if I'm looking for something that's in the middle, it's gonna be one of these things, right? I should not have come here. Okay, I knew it was one of them. When I draw back the curtain, I'm unable to control my exclamation of horror. Behind the dark velvet is a silent, squirming, seething mass of eyes, all shiny and wet and alive. Fear takes hold before my mind catches up and I understand what I am looking at. And when I do, I realize that it is looking right back at me. The object I am looking for sits on a small shelf, and the eyes watch as I snatch it and get out of there as fast as I can. Alright, let's give you a pet. We think we finally located the wreck of the Orion out in the lake. Sadly, our funding has run out, and we can't afford expensive diving equipment. But we put our heads together and wondered if there was another way. You're our last hope. Okay, I imagine we need something that's going to help us breathe underwater. So let's look for water. Not quite there yet. Underwater. An ascus allows the bearer to breathe underwater. The sensation is said to be the most unusual since it requires one not to breathe at all. Those that use an ascus or extended periods sometimes forget to breathe once they are back on dry land and subsequently pass out. The core of the item is cold to the touch, but the ring, sometimes called the halo, stays warm. Okay, so there were a couple things that I saw that were hard and cool, polished, but there's nothing warm. Let me move you out of the way. Smooth, weathered, cool and smooth, but surprisingly warm. Okay, I think this is our answer. Yay! Ask us. I am close, but I need more power. I need Saint Cedric's thunder, and quickly, while the storm's raging. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what she's doing. Here we go. Saint Cedric's thunder. Used to store the power of a single thunderclap. Alchemists have been trying to harness this power for centuries, and there are rumors that some have indeed successfully used it to transmute base metals into gold. They are placed on the tops of mountains to charge them during storms. Gemstones can be used to prevent the charge from waning over time. Okay. So we've got this box, and it does have gems, and it also has this image. So let's see if we can find that symbol. It is thunder. And just for funsies, let's look up the stones, which are purple. A stone of containment. That was easy peasy. I love easy peasy. Okay. I know I should be using my label system better, but I'm just so focused on like what's happening that it'd be too much for me to pay attention to that. I've been trying to get hold of an Ambra. Before she vanished, Verona said it might have something to do with my patients. It had almost slipped my mind, but then I remembered that there's one right here in Strange Antiquities. Eli told me himself he keeps it locked behind ethereal key. Dang it! Okay, so it's probably in the cupboard. These items cause mental fog, a withering of intellect and thought. They are slow to work, requiring several hours to have any effect. Through prolonged use, they can cause the whites of the eyes to turn black and the subject to become deeply disoriented. They produce a noctic field. Okay, so noctic, shoot. That was diurnic. I think the swirly one might be noctic, but if he keeps it locked, then... So I kind of just want to know if I have access to it, because obviously we're looking for... And I'll just go ahead and set this up now. We want... Oops, no, come back. We need square. This goes here. This goes at the bottom. Okay, so that's our noctic field. but it keeps it locked behind ethereal key. Let me just see if any... I mean, he didn't even have this item. No, this is not resonating with what's there. Okay, I am gonna take a hint mostly because I want to know if I'm missing. I need to find an ethereal key. I should start by looking that item up in my book. Okay, actually, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Maybe I have an ethereal key. An ethereal key is designed to be hidden from prying eyes. When activated by moving the object in a circular motion, the key is revealed by its gemstone of light. These are rare items and not generally known about outside of thaumic circles. Gemstones of the night power, the concealment charm. Okay. Let's look for concealment. Dark purposes, peace and safety, earth and nature, body, mind, sight, protection, fire and fury. Onyx could be good. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe we're looking for something with onyx. Which, I mean, this whole thing is onyx, but... Is this Noctic energy? I can't tell if that means it is or not. I mean, I think so. When activated by moving the object in a circular motion. How do I move you in a circular motion? This has onyx, and oops. I mean, this is a similar situation to the previous one where I feel like there's something we need to do with the object. This one, oh no, wait, that's the shimmer, so it's not going to be that. I'm just trying to see if there's any way of rotating or turning this, but okay. I should check my gemstone books to see which gemstone item description might be talking about. I'm following the right path, but the key is revealed by its gemstone of light. These are rare items and not generally known about outside of thaumic circles. Gemstones of the night power, the concealment charm. Maybe I'm wrong about onyx. Gemstone of light. I mean, amber is light. Amethyst is containment. Not concealment, necessarily. I mean, this one does have like amber, onyx, and moonstone. But how do I rotate you if you are correct? Everything else that has amber is already marked that I can see. And I don't see why we would use something that we've already used. And also, I just feel like we're supposed to move something because that's what we did last time, but can't figure it out. Amber is a stone of light, and there are others that correspond to the night and concealment. I feel like it is this, but I'm not doing whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing to it. As well as gemstones of concealment, and move that item in a circular motion. How? How I move this? No. Jupiter, explain. It's so frustrating when you have like the correct answer, but you don't know what to do with it. Yeah, I don't know. Move that item in a circular motion to... But there's like nothing to click. There's no buttons that seem to work. You guys, I had to look that up, and I'm so mad. Like, it is a clever mechanic, but it just bothers me how unintuitive it feels for me as a player. Like, I'm sure other people were able to get that no problem, but man, I just feel dumb. Okay, ethereal key. Okay, now we need to find Okay, that's how that one responds. Not really having strong reactions. Okay, this one's glittering. That one's also glittering. Okay, what did these ones look like when they glittered? Okay, so these three can... They're not letting... Okay, let me just put them up here. So these three seemed to have Noctic energy, and these ones did not. So let's keep those on the other side. Okay, what else does this say about Ambra? Mental fog, withering intellect and thought. Produce a Noctic field. Okay, so we see some symbols on that one, not on this one, and definitely on that one. And there is a face on that one, which is also interesting. Let's take a peek in here. I don't think it's one of these. No, paralysis. Okay, so this one has paralysis on it. Okay, and then this one is like a cross and with extra legs. Confusion. Okay, so I think this makes more sense. And let me just mark quickly that... This has to do with paralysis. Okay. At least finding what she was looking for was easier than finding the key. You. I know you from somewhere. I don't remember why, but the shop was important somehow. I'm sorry. I know I'm not making much sense. I haven't been myself. I'll leave you be. Okay. They found some poor soul washed up on the lakeshore, an older lady by the sounds of it. Drowned. But that's not the worst of it. Her eyes were all black, just like those others. I'm not taking any chances with the water around here. I'll take a bones guard. A small item, known as a bones guard, can be placed in any liquid to render it safe to drink. King Cedric, the Meek, was well known to be terrified of being poisoned, and so always drank from the same goblet, and always placed a bones guard inside. He was stabbed to death in 1203. These objects bear the mark of the antidote. Okay, so one of these markings is probably the marking of an antidote. We've got these swirls, these triangles, and then these much more elaborate filigree. This is a maybe. Is there anything... that's like, well, that's poison. we don't want poison. Is there anything for antidote? Probably not. Okay, let's go put this back with the books. That has a filigree, but I don't think it's quite the same design. That would be really large to put inside. And this is the only thing that mentions antidote. So it's not necessarily a cup. It's something you put inside of a cup. And I'm seeing a lot of symbols, but I don't know. Wait, we've labeled this already. Why is this open? We don't have that many curses written there, do we? Unfortunately, I feel like I need another hint. Because I feel like I'm supposed to look somewhere and I'm not sure the direction. The mark of the antidote, that sounds like a symbol of some kind. It sure does. mean, this is the symbol for poison. But we don't want poison, we want protection from poison. This is poison upside down. Maybe that's antidote? Okay. That's clever. I'm afraid I can't pay you, but can I offer a trade if you'll accept it? Sure. Guess I'll put you at the other hand. This is our row of hands. Let's just put all the other handy things over here. Okay, and then this was... Wait, what was it? Bones Guard. Okay, good night, Jupiter. That's the end of our second day. Still have that one clue we haven't worked out. The rider was lucky. He made it to Backbarrow and found refuge there and was nursed back to health. He would later discover his left eye was permanently blackened, like his partner's eyes had been. At least it's just the one. It's like a flower or a sun. Ooh, the sun and the moon. Are we going back to the catacombs, maybe? To my left, the day. To my right, the night. We are definitely going to the catacombs. I'm pretty sure I know which thing we're looking for. So I saw this earlier. We have the sun and the moon. So we're going to go in the center. Yeah! I find the row of 3 tombs in the upper levels of the catacombs. The cool darkness is strangely calming at times down here, and I sit for a while in quiet contemplation. When I rouse from my thoughts, I look down at my feet and find an item there. Had it been there all along? I never noticed it when I sat down. You here. Oh, you're up and perky. It's a nice sunny day outside. I've been hearing a worrying rumor about Verona Green. They're saying she drowned in the lake. I had a hunch it might be her too. I hope for all our sakes they're wrong. If it was her, I wonder if there's something we could have done to stop it. According to family legend, an ancestor of mine bid an item of thaumic significance in his burial chamber. It has never been found, but not for lack of trying. I was tempted to search for it myself until I learned that it was in the catacombs, in a place known as the Hall of Shields. Perhaps it's better to leave it to those who know what they're doing. Okay, let's take a look at that map. What could be the Hall of Shields? Okay. This is it. That has to be it. As I descend further into the catacombs, a strange sensation comes over me. It is not fear, although fear is mixed in with it. With cold clarity, I know at once what it is. I have entered an area known as the Depths, a place where few have been and fewer have returned from. Not even Palians can clear the air here and render it safe to breathe. But there is a way. Slate miners inhale the vapors produced by a spirit called a wandering shroud. They say it invigorates their senses and stays the mind rot that would otherwise consume them. It would be dangerous to continue exploring down here without following their lead. Gosh dang it. 'Cause, I mean, that's what we needed, right? Was the spirit vault. Oh! So, nope, that's the same thing. Barton Potter. And this doesn't really tell us where he would live either. So he's blocking us from getting 2 things. That's really annoying. Oh God. I've done something quite stupid. I went exploring in Heathwood and came across a grave. It was overgrown with dark brambles, so I started to clear them to get a better look at the inscription. I wasn't as careful as I should have been. The thorns were thick and menacing, and I scratched my arm on one of them. I have not felt well since. Please help me. Okay, so I assume this is probably a curse. Veins stand out darkly on the body. Eventually, death will occur. Heart feels constricted. Skin is pale. So that's probably it. But let me just peek at these just in case. That one's called a black heart. Okay, so we're going to look next for black heart in the index. A lamb's siphon. Siphon? I think it's siphon. Used to reverse the effects of the black heart curse. A skilled hand is required to perform the procedure, drawing the curse from the body over the course of several hours. The instrument is made using the dried seed pod of a sheep snap plant. Okay. It could be this, because it's hollow. That would make it like a pod. Let's try that. Yes. Oh, our last profile. You don't know me, but it's time I introduced myself. I'm the curator of the Museum of History here in Undermere. Eli and I have a complicated relationship, don't all siblings. I don't intend to come by the shop much anymore, but I heard he had left town for a few days. I wanted to bring him this, but I know he'd only turn me away without even looking at it. As the curator of Undermere's Museum of History, Thaddeus is a collector of artifacts and curiosities from around the world. He has an eye for the rare and the unusual, and enjoys telling the world's unheard stories through his collection. Over the years, he has also amassed a collection of items he does not put out on display. These are items that it would be best the public did not know about. They are known as dark articles. I wonder if that's like a hint for what could be the next game, Strange Histories. Jupiter! Thank goodness you're safe. I was worried about you. I hope my mother is okay, too. I've lost count to the amount of gossip I've heard about her misdeeds over the years. The truth is, when she gets stuck into a mystery, she's been known to disappear for days at a time. In the meantime, I believe I found another clue in the journal. The text directly before this is largely illegible, but I was able to make out a reference to a vault of some kind. Three resonant objects, lightest first, heaviest last. I'm guessing if they're resonant... Hold on, stop it. That it has something to do with them resonating with a specific thingy. Thaumic field. I got a fright when they brought the body of that poor drowned woman to me with those lifeless black eyes. I thought for sure it was Verona at first. She does look like her. But we're quite certain it's a lady from Hawkshead who went missing a few days ago. There's one thing I can't get out of my head, though. Why would she try and swim across the lake? And in the meantime, Verona is still missing. I don't like to use thalmic needles as a rule, but the circumstances are beyond the rulebook. We need answers. Thalmic needles are controversial items that are rarely used. They can reach into the mind of the recently deceased to give an impression of their thoughts before they died. Curiously, the weight of these tall items decreases when heated. So I'll just start with a pound. They said it's tall. This is tall. It is heavier than a pound. That seems to be the same, right? Stop that. Yeah, it's heavier than a pound no matter what. What about this one? Seems to be the same. Tall. We need something tall. This is rather tall, and it also kind of has this death look. It is a good bit heavier than a pound. It's still a good bit heavier than a pound. This is kind of tall. Again, heavier than a pound. Heavier than a pound. Why is it like so jangly? Way heavier than a pound. Way heavier than a pound. We don't have very much that's tall. This is about the same weight as a pound. Still seems about the same weight as a pound. Heavier than a pound. Still heavier than a pound. I wonder if I'm not heating things long enough? Like, does anything discernible about it change? I wonder if this will help me. It's about the same. Okay. They can reach into the mind. I wonder if it would be imbued with Mentic. If it's of the mind. One more. Just might be helpful. This is a protection. This is glittery, so maybe. This changes shape and distorts, so I don't think it's that one. This is glittery, but it gets all like swirly and adds extra stuff. Also adding extra stuff. Way extra stuff. The best I can tell is that maybe it's this, and if it's not, I'm gonna take another hint. Oh. Alright, let's get that hint. I have a clue that tells me which items I need to put on the plinths below. Oh, so I need to use that clue then. So that means I don't have the 3 resonant objects. Lightest first, heaviest last. Resonant with what? Point towards nearby resonant objects, the only objects that can be detected in this way. Okay. And Zephyrum. Objects give off a faint odor that will be familiar by any thaumaturge. The scent of the storm, of ozone power, and scent of magic. I don't know that that's important to us. Okay, well, this is a resonant compass. And I'm going to change the color so that I know I haven't actually discovered that. So it does move. It seems to be pointing to this. This is lighter than 2 pounds. Okay, this is another one. This is equal to 2 pounds. So let's move this. pointing. Well, it's just trying to point towards those. Okay. The Ambra. Yeah, which is definitely the lightest of the three. Okay. Okay, that did something. Shoot. No! Oh god, okay. Do I just push everything? Okay. Okay, there's something that's going to let us move the cog, so I'm going to reset this. Did that let us move any different than this one did? I honestly can't tell. Okay, I wonder if I have a clue for this anywhere. Doesn't look like it. Is this gonna give me a hint? That moon in the center of the vault must be a clue. Have I seen it somewhere in my shop? No, well, let me put this away. I mean, the answer is probably yes, but I'm not seeing it right now. I'm not sure if they mean there's an object here. The clock has a sun on it. What about this? I mean, this does kind of look like that, but no. And that doesn't change this. Okay, another hint. There's a button on the clock that turns the face around to show a moon. Oh, I had no idea that that was possible. Getting closer. Is it now we push all the buttons? Or is this backwards because the lip part, okay. I'm gonna keep going. One more. Why do we have these buttons? It's like I figure out one piece of the puzzle and then it's like, okay, now what? If I pull the clock pendulum, it cycles through different phases of the moon. I should see what happens if I match it up to the moon in the stained glass window. The answer is nothing. With the moon on the clock displaying the same as the moon in the window, the clock hands point to the solution. Okay. It says 9. Okay, so we want, and that's 11, not 9. 11, 4, 2, 3, and 6. Okay, that was clever. I just wouldn't have thought to push this button and to do anything with the clock, but I liked that puzzle. I think that was, like, you could have figured that out, especially if I could figure it out with the clues, then I'm fine with that. But some of those were so obtuse that I was like, Okay, so this is our thalamic needle. Wait, no! That's not the thalamic needle. That's something else. So what? Wait. Oh, I got so myopic. Like, I just need to figure this out. And then that's what I give her. The weight of these tall items decreases when heated. What was I even doing? They can reach into the mind of the recently deceased. Not hot exactly, but energetic somehow. Can't tell if that low hum is coming from the item or my imagination. So I came here because the hints told me about that paper, but this was the only thing that I found. What were the items again? Was it this and this? No. Maybe it was this. Okay, I don't even, I wish that the, where's my compass? Here it is. Okay, that for sure is it, but not the other things. Compass, where'd you go? Oh, it's right here. Okay, yeah, I mean, I know it's this one. But what were the other two again? Did I miss anything else? No. That was literally the only thing there. Yeah, I don't know. The drawings on that note I have must be atomic field patterns. I mean, yes. This is a diurtic pattern. What do you mean? Like, this still puts me at square one, where I'm just like, what do you want me to do? Because I feel like I tried this already, right? This is just sparkly. This doesn't tell me what it is. And this tells me it is that center one. I don't remember these off the top of my head. Okay, I know that Dradic. Wait, do I know what Dradic? This is the diurnic, so that's day. This was selenic. This was Dradic. And this was noctic. Now we want mentic, I think, because it's talking about the mind. This is also diurnic. Oh, this is selenic. I don't know what that is. That's mentic. What are these gemstones? We've got like a clear blue. An anchor between the body and mind. Nope. Oh no! Okay. Let's roll. Okay. Let's lock this. Wow, we rolled terribly. Okay, so let's lock that one. Yeah, thank you for re-rolling. Not that that helps me a ton. Well, I mean, I could bank those. I forget that stars are like anything. So we could do and bank those. So now I just need pairs. That's fine. Just need one more. There we go. Easy peasy. Oh, I just realized that this is the symbol from the load screen. Okay, so we had been looking for Noctic. I mean, not Noctic, Mentic. And the last thing I tried, this was Selenic. This, did I try this? Hold on, let me, not close it. That's not what I want to do. This was the last thing I had tried. Oh, we don't know what this is. This is like not interesting. Yeah, I still feel like I don't have what I need. What? I already did that. The drawings on that note I have must be of thermic field patterns. I can use the thermic lens in the desk to find items that have field patterns matching the note. All thermic objects produce a field of sorts. Although invisible to the naked eye, they can be observed by placing an object over a thermic lens. These fields are not fully understood despite attempts to study them over the years. Oh, objects made from silver. Does this? I mean, that doesn't have silver. I mean, these ones just help me identify. Well, we're looking for diurnix specifically if we're... Hold on, repeat that hit again. In the desk to find items that have field patterns matching the note. So it depends on which note we want. But if we want diurnic... I know this is... No, that's not diurnic. Or is it? No, that's Dradig. Okay, and this one is Mentic. This is Dradig, so... That was Selenic. This is Noctic, I think. this one's all squiggly, so that's something else. That might be the body. Okay, this one's Drydick. Or Diurnic. And then what about this? That one's Dradic. Are these going to be things that haven't been used or no? Where's my clue? I mean, this talks about silver composition. This is gold, stone, and gold. Bronze. Are we supposed to find silver? This is iron. Iron. That's stone, I believe. This is bone and clay. This has silver on it, but that's stone. Yeah, this is very much not Diurnic. It's the opposite. This has silver, but that's Dradic. That's limestone. I wish I knew what the rest of this note was supposed to say. Hi, pumpkin. Oh, it's iron. That's Diurnic. Wait. No, yeah. I'm supposed to be finding Diurnic. What I was looking at was Dradic, the 3 swirlies. Something by a Diurnic seal. Any object made from silver blanks a Diurnic. Maybe it's like it cancels or... I fear I need another hint. That's the last hint. Okay, so I'm on my own right now. Diurnic is of the day. And these for sure are diurnic, right? That is 100% diurnic. Does it make a difference if I... Yeah, that goes up there. And then this goes in the center. That just shows me what the pattern looks like. And this just confirms, like, yes, that is correct. Yes, that is correct. Yes, that is correct. So I don't need it to be on that. Something else, probably knock deck. I might have to speed through this when I'm editing because this is taking forever. I mean, this is probably... Oh, wait, this is also a contender. Is this, silver? No, it's iron. Is it the same thing where things need to go in order of how heavy they are? This is about 2 pounds. That's also about 2 pounds. This is definitely lighter than 2 pounds. Okay, what else could possibly be meant to, I mean, come on. Not you. Okay, I looked up a hint. I did not go ahead to the solution, but I think I've been focusing on diurnic too much. I think this is, instead of this one being what I need to look at, it's this one. So let's move these out of the way really quick. So I need something that is... I think this was Mentic, something that's Dradic, and something that is Selenic, which shouldn't be too hard, depending, no, that goes here, on, like, what exactly they're looking for. Is this Dradic? No, that's also still, all of those are Selenic. What about this one? That one's kind of hard to read. Okay, that one's very clearly Dradic. And then I just need something Mentic. Didn't I just use something that was Mentic? Was it this? Let me confirm what this is. I think it's Mentic, but if it's maybe it's Noctic. So let's try to get this correct. And then slide this to the bottom. Okay, so Noctic is swirly like that. What does Mentic look like again? It's with this. Okay, so we want something Noctic, not Mentic. Is this... Let's close this. That's different. Oh, maybe this is Noctic. No. Oh, what about this? Okay. Okay. I don't know if the weights are still... I mean, that looks Noctic. That looks Diurnic. Oh, this isn't Selenic. But this should be... Nope. This should be... Nope. Okay, I had something earlier that was Selenic. Was it you? No. You? Yes. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me move these things out of the way. I think that's Mentic. Oh, thank goodness. That was tough, but not unsolvable by any means. Okay, so this is a Thaumic needle. And we're looking... Wait, which one is Mentic again? The one with the circle on top. The bigger circle on top, I should say. Oh my goodness. Maybe between I should just put those stamps on like everything. But I would definitely put that between episodes. The people are afraid. And they are right to be, but it is too late for them. They are of no use to us, but you might be. Prove yourself, and perhaps Holgar will deem you worth saving. I require an object to steady my restless congregation, and remind them why I am the one to lead us through this turbulent time. They respect strength and power above all else. Okay, I do not want to help her. So, Fortinance. Enhance physical strength or restore strength that has been sapped, whether by exertion or by hex. Or Morgan's Folly. A folly symbol can be revealed to induce a trance-like state in anyone who casts their eye upon it, making them open to suggestibility. Precautions should be taken against unwittingly looking upon the hidden symbol for too long. Oh, steady her mind. So she's going to use it on herself, right? I don't know if this is going to backfire. Okay, let's look for suggestion. That's strength. That's not what we want. This is weakness. I think this is Morgan's Folly. Oop, okay. Not what we want. Oops, that's also not what I wanted. I just wanted to mark that this obviously is this. Actually, I think that's going to confuse me. Let's remove. Remove? Oh, I don't think I can remove it once it's there. What is that symbol? It's a box. Oh, it might be just a witch sign. That's deception. Deception and suggestibility sound similar. Oh boy. Anything else also have deception? I don't want to give her the thing that she wants. I'm looking for something with a hidden symbol. Okay. That's not hidden. That's very, very visible. Ah! Okay. Let's try to find what that symbol means. Truth? Like hidden truth? A hidden symbol of hypnosis. Huh. Oh, yeah. Where was I getting truth? Okay, yeah, I don't know how I made that error, but okay. What a day. So much happened there. Okay. The writer's partner was less fortunate. They found his frozen body a week later. And marked by Jupiter. Okay, that should be easy enough to do next time. Made a lot of progress. Definitely needed my fair share of hints. I think aside from the one where you needed to spin it around, at least for like the way that I get fixated more on words and symbols, that one was really difficult for me. I don't think it was necessarily impossible. All of the other ones I think had a clear logic to them, and it just takes like time to think through them. Again, I still want more of the story. I like it's starting to ramp up. We're trying to figure out where Verona has gone to because she's missing. We have someone from out of town who is drowned in the lake. We still have this cult thing going on in the background. So there's a lot of moving parts, but I'm still wondering how they're all going to come together. And we also still have some clues that we haven't quite figured out. So I'm waiting for those to come back into play soon. All right, so this is where I'm going to stop for now, but I'm definitely looking forward to more. Hope you are too. But for now, bye.